Bodybuilding is a sport of illusion, meaning that we have to try to appear larger than we actually are. It's all about angles, proportions, and making yourself appear more fitter than you actually are. That's what bodybuilding actually is. So when it comes to looking as jacked and as yoked as possible, then there's 3 certain muscles that you need to really focus on in order to get that more muscular look and create that illusion of having more muscle than you actually do. Now, in addition to these 3, I also have 2 runner-ups that I threw on in the end there. So the first one and the most important one is going to be your side delts. Not your full deltoid, but just your side delts. Your side deltoids, your medial delt, it gives you the illusion of width. And when you have the illusion of width, it also makes your waist appear smaller. So if you have a narrow waist, focusing on building out those side delts are going to make a big difference in how you appear in the mirror and how you appear when people see you. Because remember, when people see you, they see you kind of straight on, right? So what's the first thing that they see? Like even me, I'm standing here, you could see my side delts. So it appears that I'm wider than my waist. You could see my waist kind of tapers in. That's the illusion of bodybuilding. That's exactly what we want to happen. So you need to put a lot more emphasis on those middle deltoids. Focus more and place more of the volume that you're putting toward your shoulder training toward that area to give you that illusion of width. And remember, you can kind of see that from the front view, and even from like the back, you can still kind of see like that wide tapered look, okay? The next muscle is going to be thick and high traps. All right, these are very important. If you guys ever watched the movie, he plays like a fighter and all you see is his traps. Well, you can look at like Bane. He played Bane in Batman and you could see like all you see is his traps. He's not really that muscular, but what makes him appear very like thick and muscular is those thick traps from the front, the height from the front, and when he turns around from the back, that thickness from the back. And the same thing, if you're wearing a t-shirt and you're walking around, you can kind of see your traps kind of your shirt kind of drapes on your traps. And then from the back, when you're walking away, you can kind of see the thickness back here of your traps and like the middle portion of your traps. So they're a very important muscle to appear thicker and more muscular than you actually are. So what kind of exercises should you focus on here? Well, first and foremost, obviously, I like using machine shrugs in this case with a more neutral grip. I don't like a barbell shrug in this case, because again, neutral position is going to hit more of this part right here. So I like to use like a machine, like they have like the shrug machines in the gym. I like using something like that to hit more of that high portion of the trap and give you more of that thickness from the front. You could also use a trap bar in this case too. And then for the back, like the middle thickness trap, like to kind of fill in that gap, I love cable reverse flies for that. You kind of grab it and come across and really open the cable up and focus on squeezing the traps together with the rhomboids and all that kind of like meat in the middle. Again, this way, when you turn around and people look at you, they see that thickness back there. So again, and that's just going to make you appear more muscular than you actually are. Again, like I said, think of Ed Hardy in Batman. All right. So that's number 2. The third one is biceps. Now, I'm not talking about just regular biceps here, just like regular curls or things like that. I'm talking specifically about the brachioradialis, or the muscle right in the middle of your bicep. And the reason why I'm specifically focusing on this muscle is because this muscle sits in between your triceps and your biceps. And what happens when you develop this muscle, it grows and it pushes the other muscles out, making your arm appear thicker, especially from the front. So if someone's looking at you from the front, it makes your arm appear larger. And also from the side. So if you turn to the side, you'll see that middle muscle, when it's developed, it pushes out those other muscles and makes your arm appear much more thicker. So you need to focus more on the brachioradialis and that kind of a muscle and focus on squeezing that muscle and developing it entirely to give your arm that thicker look from the front. Because obviously when someone looks at you, first thing they're going to look at is they see that if they're looking at you in the eyes, they're going to see the top. So they'll see your delts, your traps, and then they're kind of panned down and then they see your arms. And that's how they say, wow, this guy's jacked. All right. The runner-up muscles, and again, really important ones, your calves. I know everyone hates this one, and people who aren't genetically blessed when it comes to calves hate this one too, because they all do the same thing. Oh, I train calves and they don't grow. Well, then you got to train them harder. You got to do something else. You got to figure it out. You got to get them grown, because it doesn't matter if you have small legs. If you have decently sized calves, it's going to make your overall appearance and just like your leg development appear way more advanced than it actually is. So as long as you could develop a decent set of calves, people will look at you and say, okay, he trains legs. Whereas if you have horrible calf genetics and people look at you in shorts, you shouldn't be embarrassed to put on shorts. That's basically what I'm saying. Because at least if you wear shorts and you have small thighs, but your calves are decently sized, they won't say, oh, he looks ridiculous. He looks like a Y. People say all those different things. So you have to develop your calves. And the last muscle here, and this one is really important if you wear tank tops, is your upper chest. Again, when people look at you, they're looking at you straight on. First thing they're going to see, shoulders, traps, arms, and also the thickness of your upper traps. So when you wear a tank top, upper chest, I'm sorry. So when you wear a tank top, the upper chest muscle is what's really prevalent when you're wearing a tank top, and it makes you appear more muscular, okay? So if you want to look more jacked, focus on those body parts. And because you made it this far into the video, I have a free gift for you. I have a free 6-week training program that I want to give you, no strings attached, because I just want to help you not make the mistakes that I made when I first started. So that program's for you, no strings attached. Just click that link below, pick up that program. And until next time, this was Anthony, AB Fitness. I'll catch you on the next one.